Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition, another episode of Sincerely Agile with Mary. Now, my guest is having challenges joining me, so I'm just going to see what can happen with that. She's on LinkedIn chatting with me, and I'm not sure why we're having these challenges these days because we keep doing what we're supposed to do, which is send the link to our guest, and they click on the link and they can come into the studio and join me. So if you give me just a few seconds, let me sort this out. I'll be right back. Okay, so she's just logging out and trying to log back in for whatever reason. She clicks on the link and it's taking her somewhere else entirely. So let's hope this works. So my name is Mary Lanion, and this is the show where we promote the lean agile mindset, where we learn, unlearn, and relearn. And of course, it's a place where we want to be awesome and wholesome together and make change agents of ourselves. So let's see what happens here with my guest. Oh, she's still trying and she's still having the same problem. Let's see. This is not nice. Okay, she's just going to log out again and see if she can come in and join me again. So today we are going to be looking at waste normalized. And I really, really hope that Funke can join me because she's an amazing woman, professional, and consultant. And she has a lot to share with us. So I really need her to be here. I really need her to be here. So I'll just see what's happening with her right now. In the meantime, if you can let me know where you're joining us from. I can see a few people have joined us already. If you can just let us know where you're joining us from, that will be great. Thank you very much. While I try and sort out this technical glitch. Interesting. Same thing every time. It has never failed. I send the link, my guests click on it, and they're in. All they have to do is put their name. That's all they have to do. But for whatever reason, this is not working as it would normally work. Yeah, it's not working as it would normally work. So I'm just trying to see. Let me make sure she's using Chrome, which is what it says in the instruction. Okay, hopefully there she is. There she is.
Good evening. Hello.
Hello, Funke. How are you? Nice to have you.
Thank you.
It was playing up. I don't know why it keeps doing that now. But I can hear you and I can see you. Because
amazing.
I send you that link.
Okay.
You click on it and you're in here. That's what should happen.
Yeah. Interesting. I have to follow the previous link you sent. So yeah, I'm in now. Good evening.
Fantastic. Nice to have you. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
These things do happen. So I was just saying that it would be, unfortunate if I don't have you on the show because you are an amazing woman, a professional, and an amazing consultant. So it is great that you're finally in here. So we have people joining us already. So let's just see where people are joining us from. That's Victoria. That's off the top. Okay, hello. Kemi Anima Shaun is joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, joining from Kent, yes. Victoria joining from Kent, yes. And Ronke from London. It's so great to have you all here. Today we're looking at waste normalized. I'm just going to bring up my banners. Waste normalized. And it is important that we talk about this because there has never been a time when it was okay to be wasteful in any shape or form, right? And much more so when we're talking about human capital, right? Much more so when we're talking about human capital. And even more so now with COVID, right? where
Yeah.
people have lost their jobs, businesses have gone bust. We now need to start thinking lean. So that is our topic for today. And to help me here to discuss and dissect this very important topic is Olufunke Adio, a certified behavioral consultant and agility trainer. She does an amazing job. You'll get to see all of that very shortly. So we're going to be looking at all of that. But before I go into my questions, Funke, how have you been? Thank you for making time to be on the show with me. How have you been during this COVID period? How has business been? Family, home front, how has that been for you?
Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. It's been interesting. It's been a journey. Just looking at how the COVID-19 thing started to play out since last year. And being a trainer, it means that I had to start working remotely. This is something that I would normally do in a physical class, physical setting, interacting with participants and all of that, but we had to adapt. And so
Absolutely.
it's over a year and some months now, and I've been working remotely. I think I've been able to adjust, and I don't mind it. I don't mind working remotely. What happened recently, though, that I think I needed to be watchful of was
Yeah.
when I did about a 7 hour session
7 hours online.
online. It was crazy. So what happened was I had already committed myself to doing a pro bono session for a certain organization here in Lagos, Nigeria. And after that, a commercial job came along. So, and I couldn't say no, and I didn't want to drop off the other appointments or schedule. So I did a 7 hour back to back. It wore me out.
I
It
can
really,
imagine.
I would never do that again.
I
Never.
can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of an echo. Do you have an earpiece there that would normally reduce the echo? If you do, if you want to use that, please. Otherwise, we'll just continue. But if you do have one, it will help.
Okay, I'm trying to see if it's my AC. All right. I do not have any earpiece. I hope the echo has stopped now. Is
Okay,
it
okay.
better now?
That's fine. We'll continue like that. Okay. So I am just going to introduce Funke to you. Now, Olufunke Adio is a certified behavioral consultant, a workforce transformation expert, a certified management trainer, and agility trainer. She has a cumulative work experience of about 20 years across consulting, media, and technology sectors. A woman of many parts and a queer blend of the creative and the analytical, Olufunke Adio is a sought-after speaker on personal and organizational agility, a lead resource at Olive and Pierce, a workforce transformation and productivity company where she assists her clients through speaking, training, facilitating, consulting, and coaching. Olufunke Adio is the author of 2 books and several published works, including 80 plus articles. Now, that's a lot of articles you have written there. And you're very visible on LinkedIn. It is such a
Thank you.
pleasure to have you on the show, Funke. Now,
Same
we're
here.
talking about waste normalized. And how did I come about this topic? On this show, one of the things we promote, one of the values we promote, or principles, if you like, is the lean agile mindset. That is the main vision we have on this platform, promoting the lean agile mindset. And lean is about minimizing waste. Okay? Minimizing waste in every shape and form. Agile is about being responsive and being flexible so that as individuals, we can continuously respond and develop ourselves. And as businesses, we can respond to our environment and be much more adaptive and, ensure our bottom line is healthy. So for a platform that promotes the lean agile mindset, this is a topic that is so close to my heart, as you can imagine. And when we talk about waste, we're not just talking about wasting food, wasting materials in a production line. We are concentrating on human capital. we are thinking more in line of, are we leveraging and are we maximizing what we bring to the table as professionals, as individuals, as human beings? Are we leveraging all that we can possibly, bring to the table and all that we have been endowed with, so to speak? So this is why we're looking at this topic today. So my first question to you, why might it be important now more than ever to think lean? That's my first question to you.
Wow. I think that indeed it is important to think lean now more than ever before, because it seems like it's a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
It seems like the logical thing to do with what COVID did to a lot of businesses last year. It seems like the logical thing to do. We saw how many businesses began to respond to the effect of COVID. Many of them laid off staff. It was a time where they had to sit down, businesses had to look at their overheads and ask themselves critical questions. Do we really need all of these persons we have within this business? And those were the kind of questions organizations were asking. There was a lot of financial loss. If you recall with Primark actually lost £1 billion during the lockdown period. They suffered that much loss. It's good that they're actually coming out of it right now, but that was what happened. So you will see that it's a logical thing to do. What happened even during COVID was that businesses were saving on diesel costs. Do you know?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, because
I would imagine that businesses in Nigeria, for example, there would have been some savings coming in some quarters. And just like you said over here, businesses went into administration. John Lewis has been bought over. So many businesses went into administration. And the way we need, like you said, it was a logical thing to do, and we needed to start thinking differently. Yes, absolutely. So please go ahead.
Absolutely. And so diesel was one that businesses are feeling good about saving costs on. Then the other is real estate. Do you know? Okay. So just the idea that, wow, do we really need to have people in a brick and mortar setting? So you see businesses thinking differently, even modifying their business model. So a lot's been going on, and quite frankly, COVID was a good time for businesses to reassess what it is that they do, how they operate, and consider going lean, really.
Absolutely. So, and talking about the head count, you can say on the one hand, that is a loss to the individual, obviously. But
sadly,
if you look at it, sadly, if you look at it from the business side, it's a plus for them, because like you said, now they can reduce their cost on real estate, and they can reduce their head count also, because now a lot of businesses have to now embrace automation. They have to embrace digital transformation even more during that COVID period. And also, people were doing more from home, right? It seemed people were actually more productive from home, especially if we look at the environment like Nigeria, Lagos, where people were probably spending 6 hours in traffic, 4 hours in traffic, right?
Yes.
All that hours can now be put to some good productivity.
Absolutely.
So how have you, as a businesswoman, how have you leveraged this period as a businesswoman? In what areas can you say you have saved?
Wow, I would normally, work with third parties, management, consultants. I have that kind of model where I would go into the business or go to a training location to go to train, to facilitate a session. But this being done remotely, just like you said, commute work. So that's savings. And it's not just about the savings on the time. It's savings on your energy and just that mental space where you have ability to extend and do more in other productive areas. So what happened to me along that line was that it opened up opportunities for me. So I had to produce online courses, you see. I had the time rather than being stuck in some 2-hour traffic. It sort of just gave me time. And I really, really, really absolutely optimized, leveraged on that. So I have online courses now. It never was the case before COVID. So I'm proud of myself.
Well done to you. Well done to you. And as consultants, we're always looking to improve. And you seem to have obviously leveraged this COVID period to improve yourself. Okay. Now, looking at this from a much more personal perspective, we've talked about organizations. As individuals during this COVID period, I believe it presented a lot of opportunities for us to actually, leverage that time to improve ourselves and do more. So it was a time when we could actually think lean and say, you know what, how much more can I do now with the time I have at my disposal as opposed to just the one thing I was doing before? And during this period, during this COVID period, it was a time when I equally leveraged doing new things. I mean, I had already started doing my training online. I've been training online for the past 5 years. I actually made an intentional decision to take my training online 6 years ago, actually now, because I felt I was constantly on the move and that it made sense for me to go online with my training. So when COVID hit, nothing changed for me. I just continued as normal in terms of my training. But because I wasn't on the road as much, because I equally traveled, I worked in Europe, I lived in the UK, I went to Brussels every week. That also meant that I could put my time to good use. And this is where the thinking lean for individuals comes in. During that period, I completed my MBA. It was a period, I was doing my MBA management consulting. It was the time when I thought, you know what, I'm going to step up on this and complete my MBA. And not only that, I even took more agile certifications during this period.
Amazing.
Okay? So now this is what we are presenting to our audience today. How we can constantly look at ourselves and say, are we leveraging the possibilities around us? Are we leveraging the capabilities that we bring to the table? Right? Now, that takes me to my next question. Does a lack of personal agility result in talent, creativity, and intellectual capacity being wasted? Because you see, for us to achieve all the things we say we achieve in such an uncertain and volatile environment, we needed to be adaptable. We needed to be flexible. We needed to leverage personal agility. So what do you say to this? Does a lack of that result in so much waste?
The answer to that question is an absolute yes. Capital YES, yes, with an exclamation mark. All right? Because personal agility is such a big deal. It's such a big deal. And if somebody is not agile in that sense of being personally agile, what happens in my mind is that for the most part, people leave opportunities on the table and they just walk away.
Wow.
Yes. What do I mean by that? I've been doing writings, articles, a lot of work around agility and, of course, personal agility. It wasn't until sometime last year, just shortly before the COVID hit, that a group of professionals, they call them Nigerian IT professionals in Canada. And as I took that session, just sharing with them, and what I saw was that a model was emerging. It sort of came across to me as though all of the things I put together in terms of personal agility just came out in form of a model. And so right now, I have a model I call Go Call. Go Call. Go Call is an acronym for growth, opportunity, curiosity, adaptability, learning agility, and overcoming limitations. It's like limitations, but I refer to it as overcoming limitations. If you allow, I'll just sort of break that down so you see.
Okay, did I get that right? Go Call, right?
Exactly, Go Call. So the first letter there is G, is for growth mindset. Personal agility comes with that need for you. Growth mindset say the growth mindset says your capabilities can be expanded, your capabilities can grow. And so for somebody who has held a job for say 10, 20 years, the same role, the same vocation, same job, it can sometimes come across as though, can I really do anything else? If the environment changes, they begin to question their capability to do something different and something new. But what a growth mindset says is that, hey, okay, yeah, I've been in this particular space for this long, but yeah, I can absolutely do something else. If that person gets laid off from work, maybe the industry or the business gets moribund or out of business or something, you can absolutely take charge just because you have that growth mindset that I can do this. I can do something different. If an opportunity comes because you know you can grow skills, you have it in you to develop new capabilities, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then the O there is for opportunities, meaning being able to seize, being able to sense first, being able to seize, and being able to access opportunities. And what do I mean by that? You know, there are some people, they only see challenges. No matter what the problem or the environment is, just like the way they say, in every challenge, there is an opportunity, isn't it? So that shouldn't just be a mantra. It shouldn't just be a mantra. It should be, indeed, it can be something that we can live out. So where there is a challenge, personal agility says, wait a minute, there might be an opportunity right now. And how can I lay hold of that opportunity? So people that have this kind of mindset, they are always seeing challenges. Guess what? They are the ones that sit with you in strategy sessions and they begin to knock off your possibilities, the pictures you're painting about possibilities and taking opportunities that come. Why? Because they have a posture. And that posture is to see challenges more than they do opportunities, you see? All right. So the next is C. The C there means curiosity. Curiosity is such a big deal to me, and it's so dear to my heart because I live curious. I live my life curious.
Yes.
You know, if I'm watching CNN, for example, and I encounter some personality, perhaps one of these TV guys are doing an interview, and I do not know the person, I'm intrigued. I go online, I Google the person that I interviewing. I want to know what makes that guy tick. Yes. I want to know what makes that person tick. And this can apply in a varied number of ways. It can be from a standpoint of what is happening in my industry. What exactly is going on in my career? Can I make lateral moves as opposed to just a typical career ladder? You know, can we just think outside the, can we ask
lateral
questions
moves
that make sense?
And when you say lateral moves, that means trying out new things, trying out unfamiliar terrain, you know, moving away from your comfort zone. It's not just about, okay, I'm an assistant manager, let me become a manager, and then let me become a director. Just going, you know, upwards to the same space. Lateral move. And that is what the industry is looking for now.
Yes.
That is what the industry is looking for now. People who have, you know, a varied skills and varied experiences. That is what the industries are looking for today. So I like that lateral.
Brilliant. I love it. You know, so it is that quest, being able to ask the right questions. Curiosity is about asking the right questions. And then the next there is A, which is adaptability. Adaptability is being nimble, isn't it?
Yes.
Being able, it's agile. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness me. Being able, you're fluid like that. You're flexible. And that I can really use to describe that adaptability is a lady called Ola Brown. Ola Brown, perhaps you would know her. She's a lady that came into the Nigerian medical space with this helicopter service thing. Yes, you know her, absolutely. Her name is Ola Brown, and she's been in that space for quite a while. Only recently, maybe about a year or 2 years, thereabout, I see that she's moved into finance. She's delved into finance, and guess what? She's holding her own. It's not like she's just trying to scratch the surface. She's doing stuff, good stuff. So adaptability is just being able to move, regardless of what the environment is saying. What can you do differently?
Yes, let us deep dive a little bit into adaptability, because after all, adaptability is all about agility. And this is a platform where it's all about agile, sincerely agile with Mary, right? Now, when we talk about adaptability, flexibility, we talk about lateral moves. We talk about moving away from your comfort zone. I mean, we have people watching, and who knows, some people may have been thinking they want to make some change, but you know, that element of fear, that element of discomfort, anxiety, that will set in. So our message here today is that we are not saying moving out of your comfort zone is ABC. It wouldn't be ABC. It would mean learning something new, okay? It will mean that you're learning something new. And you and I know that people do have learning anxiety. Yeah? People do have learning anxiety. You know, oh God, what's all this change about? Oh, what new framework do I have to learn? What new certifications do I have to go and do now? I'm too old to start learning again. People will have those anxieties. So we are not saying that making those lateral moves come without fear. Okay? We are not saying that it's going to be ABC, but you have to be curious. You have to be curious, like she said. That is what the C is for. And we have to be curious. You've been doing something for 20 years, for 10 years. Are you, I mean, there could be something better. There could be something better. The people who have been extremely successful today, for the most part, are people who are able to take risk. So there must be some element. I mean, I'm not saying go crazy and take risk recklessly, but we should be able to take some element of risk, have some courage. And when I say have some courage, that courage will be there, but it is there, and you are able to move forward in spite of the fear that you have. Because you see, we are all humans, and it is important that we stress on this, so that you don't think we are coming to you as super women, okay, or as machines or as robots. There will be fear. When I wanted to go live with Sincerely Agile with Mary, I thought about it. It was something I wanted to do. It was something I was, excited about, but it wasn't without fear. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It wasn't without fear. It wasn't without, oh, how will it turn out? Will people like the show? But it was something I was going to do anyway. And it was something that was going to grow, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one episode at a time. So when we say this to you, because on this platform, we are here to encourage you to move forward and upward. That's what we're doing on this show. We are here to encourage you to move forward and upward. And in order for that to be achieved, we need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to step out. Okay? And it is not always easy to step out. And I'll give you what's the word? I use a metaphor. When you are in your house, you feel safe. Okay? But there's the concept of stepping out into the balcony. Now, when you step out into the balcony, you are exposed. You can easily take a bullet, I guess. Okay? You are exposed. So when you come out of that balcony, you feel exposed, you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you can't always be inside that house. You have to step out into that balcony and give the world what God has deposited in you.
Amazing.
Because I tell you, people are waiting for you. I don't know who you are on this platform watching right now. There's something you have to give. We all have something to give. What Mary Lanion can give is different from what Olufunke Adio can give. It's different from what Ronke Mokpae, who is on this platform right now, can give. We all have something unique to give. But if we shield ourselves, and stay inside that house, we are going to deprive ourselves and deprive the world of that which you are capable of giving. I just thought I'll emphasize on that agility right there.
Brilliant.
It is not, without fear, but it is courage in spite of fear. Please carry on, Funke. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Very well said. Very well said. Incidentally, the next L there, the next letter is learning agility.
Okay.
And you already spoke to that.
Right.
What I would just like to add there is that for learning agility, you want to make sure that you're learning something new. Like Mary said, you're going outside of your comfort zone.
Sure.
And again, interestingly, I actually have a course. I call the course Digitability. Digitability.
Okay, I like the way you are thinking. You remember, I also have one that I say employability to employability.
Brilliant. Right? The last episode, or the second to the last episode, I saw that. Okay. Thank you.
Employability to employability, because it is all about agility and digital, skills.
Indeed. So why did I do that course? I did that course just to say to people, you can do digital. You don't think that you cannot do digital because you are out of tech. I came also from a tech space, so that sort of gives me an upper hand, but I wouldn't say that is the real reason. To my mind, the real reason why I do tech, why I'm comfortable with digital, is because of my learning at agility. You get it? Yeah. So in that course, what I did emphasize is that get over the fear. Yeah. I actually laid out steps that people can reframe, isn't it? Yeah. So they get over the limitations in their mindset, isn't it? And then the last L there is really about overcoming limiting mindsets. That's part of personal agility. If you're able to, overcome all of the limitations, those voices in your mind that say that, no, you can't do this, you can't be this, you can't access this opportunity. Guess what, Mary? Some people experience certain things in life and then they put a full stop.
Yes.
No, don't put a full stop. Don't put a full stop. If somebody suffers rejection someplace at some, whatever life experience, don't put a full stop. Put a comma instead. Yes? Put yet. Maybe I'm not there. Don't say I'm not there. Say I'm not there yet. Append that yet. It frees your mind to say that is what it does. So that's the model. Just looking at what I just broke down to you now is my own concept of personal agility. And guess what? It may change tomorrow, but I'm okay with that because I'm agile like that.
Exactly. And I like that you talked about learning agility, because if we do not leverage that, then we are more or less wasting our capacity to learn. Sure. We will be wasting our capacity to learn. And the reason we need learning agility is that the environment is constantly changing. The environment is constantly changing. What you knew yesterday may not take you for another 1 year, okay? Sure. Because technology is changing so quickly. Techniques are changing so quickly. The way we do things are changing ever so quickly. It's a VUCA world, like we say. It's volatile, it's uncertain, it's complex, and it is ambiguous. So when we talk about learning agility, the question is, the million-dollar question, if you like, is, are you learning at the pace of change?
Nice.
Are you learning at the pace of change? You need to move with the times, you see.
Absolutely.
You need to move with the times. You need to learn at the pace of change so that you don't get left behind. And today, with digital, with COVID, with agile transformation, you need to really step up and skill up in order for you to leverage those capabilities that you actually have. So thank you so much for this acronym. I really do like it. GOCO. I really do like that. And I'm just trying to see what else I have for you in terms of questions. Now, when we say waste is normalized, what exactly does that mean? And there are, and I'm going to take this now to our, I'll take this to our manage it like that culture.
Wow. Wow.
Manage it like that.
Wow. Wow.
Manage
Wow.
it like that. Now, that statement, manage
Wow.
it like that, has done a lot of damage, has created a lot of waste. But
Yes.
I came about this topic when I read one of your articles, because you do write a lot, and
Yeah.
I engage with your articles a lot on LinkedIn,
Oh,
because
thank
that
you.
was where, after reading the article, and already I wanted you on the show anyway. I thought
Wow.
of the topic,
Title.
waste, of the
Nice.
title, waste normalized. What exactly are we saying? Because that was sort of
Wow.
where what
Yeah.
your article was alluding
Yes.
to. So tell us, what exactly were you trying to
Yeah.
communicate there in terms
Yes.
of waste being normalized? Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for that powerful question. Indeed, it's a powerful question just because of the impact that it has on our lives as individuals and as citizens of this country, Nigeria, because that is where I reside.
Yeah.
And much of my articles on waste really has been written based on my experiences living here in Nigeria. So, what exactly do we mean when we say waste is normalized? This is what I would say. We normalize waste when we have behaviors or actions that cost us but do not add any value to us.
Hmm.
Actions and behaviors that cost us humongously, yes,
Hmm.
but they add absolutely no value to us. And so when this is done consistently and repeatedly, what happens is that it becomes a culture.
Hmm.
Once it becomes a culture, we say it is normalized. So because we see a lot of waste going on in Nigerian space, I think it makes sense to say that as far as this context is concerned, we have succeeded in normalizing waste in Nigeria. I'm surprised to see that for me, I have almost a physiological response to waste or inefficiency. To the extent that when I have things to do, for example, in the public or civil service settings, guess what? I begin to feel anxious. Why? Because I'm already thinking of the degree of inefficiency I'm going to come across just once I hit that environment. I'm going to see a receptionist that is so lackadaisical at their front desk. I'm going to see somebody who responds to my inquiry like he's doing me a service. You see, I'm going to
Doing you a favor.
a favor. Thank you. I'm going to come in contact into some official who behave like they just woke up at 8 a.m. in the morning at their desk, 9 a.m., 10 lethargy already on them as early as that. In some settings, you would expect people to be vibrant, yes, and active, ready for the day's work. But yeah, so waste is normalized again when we have behaviors and actions that cost us so much, but they deliver little. And you can think about this in three layers, really. You can think about it on a personal, individual level. You can think about it on a corporate level, and you can think about it on a national level. So you see, it's not just a national level. You can see it happen in all of those layers. For the past 6 months or thereabouts, I've been in learning sessions where I've facilitated some productivity kind of lessons or lectures, engagements with a group of women, women who have challenged children with special needs. I did this under the auspice of a Diary of Special Needs Woman. And that is something that is so close to my heart because people in that space feel like, oh my goodness, I have this challenge, you see. So getting them out of that space where they can come to a place where they can say, oh, wow, I can do something. I can optimize my time. I can optimize my energy. I can optimize my talents, my resources. And so they're not down like that. So as far as the national domain is concerned, guess what? Ever since I was a child, I've known about this phrase. There is no maintenance culture in Nigeria. Have you heard that phrase?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm over 40. And guess what? I feel like it has gotten worse. I wish I could say confidently that that has gone outside of our nomenclature or speech, but it hasn't. So you see, even on the national level, a government official, for example, is visiting a state like Lagos State. What happens? Can you believe that? Productivity
You have to
shuts
say
down.
that again. We lost you there for a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So I was alluding to the idea of where a political office holder comes into Lagos State, for example, and where the whole city is on shut down. The whole city gets locked down.
Yes.
Okay. Not to say that they do not have a right to cater to security as far as their movement is concerned. But my question is, what happens to the citizenry being notified that so and so activity is going to happen tomorrow? We advise you guys, you just send out an advisory and say so and so routes would not be available within so and so hours. What happens to that? So you get the sense that it really doesn't matter. Nobody cares about your time. Nobody cares whether you spend the whole day in a traffic because a government official is in town.
Absolutely.
We don't think about waste in this regard. That is waste, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you know what? When COVID
that is waste because made appointments, spent, it really.
It is a lot of waste. It is a lot of waste. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a lot of waste of time and productivity, productive time spent or wasted away just like that. And guess what? It's not just in the national space. There's a lot of waste even in corporate environments.
Okay.
Yes, we hear a lot of stories about how leadership make emotional decisions and then they think about substantiating it with facts. A lot of wastages, isn't it? Somebody brings a cousin, just ethnic bias, isn't it? Yes. They bring somebody who absolutely has no idea of what to do in that role, in that position, but it's fine as far as that person is from their ethnic sector or whatever it is. There's a lot of waste. That same person gets paid. I don't know if you heard about the door opener challenge.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that on social media. And and I'm happy you brought that up, Funke. Yes. I'm happy you brought that up because we have seen in the past how a police officer is carrying some ladies' handbags. We've seen that. That is waste of human resource.
Oh, goodness gracious.
We have seen, of course, pre-COVID, how we spent hours and hours in the traffic. That is waste. Yes. We see how someone gives you an appointment for 9 a.m. You get there at 9:15. Yes. They don't even see you until 2 p.m. You see, because it's important we're talking about this because, like we said, waste has been normalized. Sure. Okay, we do not put value to time anymore. Look, I'm in the UK. If you ask a plumber, to come and check out your dishwasher or washing machine, and they get here and they don't meet you here, too bad. You have paid for that time. If they come here and what's wrong with your machine is something small, you have paid for that call out charge because they may come here and the work is not a lot or whatever, or maybe there was even nothing wrong with it, but you thought something was wrong with it. Too bad. Wow. You pay me my call out charge because they put value to time. So, and then because labor is, should I say, relatively cheap, we still have this, attitude towards time that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And we're hoping to change that because human time,
Absolutely.
human capacity is not to be
Yes.
wasted.
It's not.
It is not to be wasted. And I
It's
like
not.
how you put it on the personal,
Yes.
corporate, and
Yes.
national level. Let us look at the personal.
Yes.
How do we normalize waste in our personal lives or on a personal level?
Wow. It's amazing that what we don't pay attention to, we don't really have the ability to correct or to change. So I give a classic example about how to work with time. We say this saying, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time." And when you look at it really and ask yourself critical questions, how much time do you spend on social media, for example? Okay. So we see a lot of value that comes with social media, isn't it?
Yes,
Amazing,
absolutely.
brilliant, powerful stuff that comes with just being in that space.
Yeah.
But then when you ask yourself, do I need to follow every celebrity in the country, for instance? Do I in the world? And then you keep scrolling until you are all caught up. Like on Instagram.
Now, let me stop you. Let me butt in there very quickly. Let me butt in there very quickly because I like
Yes.
how you brought up social media because now we're talking about normalizing waste at the personal
Yes.
level.
Personal
Okay.
level, yes.
Now, for me, the internet is one of the best tools of our time. I mean, where did I meet you? I met you on LinkedIn. I mean, we were not acquaintances before. We were not acquainted before. I
Yeah.
met you on LinkedIn.
True.
I mean, those of us who use LinkedIn, we are very active on LinkedIn. We are in the same space because we are like-minded people, right?
True.
And you put out articles. I put out
Yes.
articles on LinkedIn. I read your
Yes.
articles, and from reading your articles, I was like, wow, I need to have Funke on my show. I
Thank
really
you.
like, the sense she's making here. I really need
Wow.
her to come and share this platform with me. Okay, so social media
Thank you.
is one
Yeah.
of the best
Yeah.
tools of our time. And of course, it's not my business what people do on social media. I'm not here to police anybody, okay? But if you want to use your time well, you really have to be intentional about it. We often say we
Yes.
don't have time, but like you said, we do have time, really. We have time.
Mm.
It is how we
Yeah.
use that time. And
Yes.
who are you following? When I
Mm.
started my agile journey, I followed people who were established in the agile space.
Nice.
I was intentional about it. I
Nice.
joined meetups and I followed people in the agile space. If you're following every celebrity out there, what value are they adding to your life? I'm not saying I don't have celebrities I follow too. I do.
It's
And
true.
for example, I'll tell you, I like Brother Shaggy. I like Tao. You know Taoma, because
Yeah.
when I have read and
Yes.
read and
Yeah.
done training upon
And
training online,
you
and
want
I
to
want
cool
to
down.
laugh.
Relax.
Okay, I want to laugh. I go and look for Brother Shaggy online. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I follow Shaggy and I follow Taoma, especially Taoma. All that slap she used to slap. It's so funny. So what am I trying to say? We
I
have
know.
space.
Yeah.
We have space for a whole lot on social media, but and they add value because when I
Yeah.
go on these comedians
Yes.
pages and I laugh, and when I say laugh,
Yes.
a real good laugh, it feels
Yes.
good. So they have
Good.
provided a
Good.
service to me as far as I'm concerned.
Brilliant. I love
They
it.
have provided a service to me. They have
Yeah.
given me that 15 minutes to unwind and to
Brilliant.
laugh and to reduce my stress and
Yeah.
to just be away from work
Yes.
on social media for 20
Yes.
minutes or 30 minutes. That is
Yeah.
good. That is
Yeah.
controlled use of my time. Now, I
Yeah.
also say that let us not forget
Mm.
that we don't come on social media for free. We pay for it. Okay, we don't come on
It's true.
social media for free, we pay for it.
Yes.
And this
True.
is what I say, Funke. If
Mm.
you exhaust your data, and
Yes.
by the time you've exhausted your data, you
Yes.
have learned nothing new, right? It is like paying tuition and not
Yes.
attending classes.
Yes.
That's what I say. So we really need
Yes.
to be intentional
I've
about
heard
it.
you say that
Yes,
several.
yes,
Yeah.
and to me, it is
Yeah.
important because I know what how I have improved just by leveraging my time properly and
Amazing.
using my time, judiciously. So it's extremely important. What else can you say about normalizing waste on a personal level?
On a personal level, what else I would say would be managing your energy.
Okay.
Just knowing really what is most important to you per time. You will not be in every network. You will not be in every group. You will not be in every association. Why? Because you are managing your energy intentionally. So sometime during the heat of the COVID, I got this job offer. It was a consulting work, and I was very excited getting that job. And I went into the business, just getting to understand what the issues were and all of that. I noticed not too long into my interaction with them that there was something off. There was something off. I realized that there were too many factions within the business. So the chairman would call a separate meeting, and then the chairman and the ED would call another separate meeting, and the MD, and was getting like, what's going on here? What exactly is going on here? I took it was something I was really going to do, considering all the shenanigans that was going on. And I sort of stepped back for a bit. Then I now went ahead to make payments for the consultation, for the consultancy. And I sort of said, okay, these guys have paid, not a small money, by the way. These guys have paid, and perhaps this is a sign that they're really ready for business this time. Because I did mention it, and I also, in fact, I tried to break the silos that they were creating, and we would get into these meetings and they would say, don't let Mr. So and so know that we've had this conversation. I'm like, what's going on? And then I had to really step back and ask myself, okay, guys, these guys have paid. Do I really want to get into this mess? This is looking like a very messy situation, very murky sort of environment that I'm going into. Then after they made their deposits, their initial deposits, I realized that nothing changed. Nothing changed. They just ghosted on me. And I was now having to chase them around, and it was a red flag that these people perhaps feel like, oh, we've paid her, we've locked her down. No, you don't pay me and lock me down. No. I will determine, yes, if this work is good for me or not.
You can walk away.
I can walk away. I can absolutely walk away. And so when I decided that this would be detrimental to my energy level, my commitments, my time, and all of that, with all what that I have seen so far, it wasn't going to be worth my while. So what did I do? I made a refund for them, and they were shocked. Wow. That in the heat of the COVID, somebody was making a refund, but I had to prioritize, you see.
Absolutely.
I had to prioritize my mental
well-being,
wellness, whatever else it is that they have to offer. Yeah. So in that sense, we need to really learn to prioritize. And because we see that we bring stuff to ourselves unnecessarily, and then we're overwhelmed, and there's this mental health situation where, it can be a lot.
Absolutely.
So prioritizing is huge.
Yes, it is very important. And that is one of the skills we, really lay a lot of emphasis on. We need to prioritize what adds the most value. So ask yourselves, because you see, where you put your mind to, that is where your energy will flow. So ask yourself, where are you focusing on? Are you prioritizing your time on social media? Who are the people you are following? Really take stock. You really need to take stock. I mean, who is adding value to you? Who is draining you? Who is wasting your time here? You need to decide that. Nobody can decide that for you. And we are not certainly here to come and police the internet for anybody. That's not our job. But it is our job to say, you know what? If you want to leverage your capabilities, you want to, leverage learning agility and change agility, then you need to stop. You need to stop and take stock and ask yourself, where am I putting my time? Where am I putting your energy? Because there will always be 24 hours in a day, and that's what we all have available to us. So why are some people making progress and some are not? And they are in the same space. they are in the same space.
Yes.
It is down to how they think. It is down to their, how they frame things. Like you said earlier on, some people only see challenges. In the midst of those challenges, some people are always thinking, what is the problem here and how can I solve it?
Amazing.
What is the problem here and how can I solve it? Thank you very much for how you have responded to that, Funke. And again, you already touched on our culture. I have here, could a waste culture possibly be the consequence of a lack of systems thinking mindset? Are we really thinking holistically at all levels? Are we?
Wow.
We have 5 minutes left.
This is a very strong question you've asked, because rightly so, end to end. We see clearly that we do not think end to end. Having a systems mindset is about considering, understanding the parts that comes together and the value that each of those parts, deliver to the overall system. So again, this happens to be a challenge that we're facing as far as the Nigerian state is concerned, where unfortunately we do not see the correlation between joblessness and lack of power supply, you see. We're unable to link injustice with the call for cessation. You see, we're unable to make the connection. There's a vital connection there. But unfortunately, either we're not seeing it or we're refusing to see it. The government largely are refusing to see the correlations. So there's inequity, and they can't see the correlation between that and the NSAS movement and all of that. Somebody steals pensioners' money and then he isn't brought to book, and pensioners, they die on queues, and we don't see the correlation. There's a huge corruption going on in the country, and we don't see the correlation between that and how the political class is also looting. You see,
and this correlation you're talking about is so interesting. Because I mean, it's like, take for example, you're supposed to build a hospital, you don't build a hospital.
Yes.
A day would come that you will need that hospital and it will not be available for you to use. And that is the systems thinking that we need at all levels, in our personal lives, in our small businesses, and the nation at large. Because you see, when we talk about systems thinking, what we are saying is it is important that we think of the entire system holistically, because you cannot you cannot optimize a small part of the system and sub-optimize the other parts of the system and think that system will hold.
Powerful, so powerful what you're saying. Amazing.
It will not hold. So you must optimize the entire system. Not just,
Mary, so well said. So well said. So you see how there's a perception within the Nigerian space as if some space in the country, they are being treated differently from the rest. So all of the agitations that we see is that sense of perception that there's some injustice going on in here. That can we have some level of equity, please? Can we have some level of equity?
We are coming close to the hour, and Kemi says, I like that, managing my energy. That's exactly what I do. I came to that realization at some point in my life. Ronke says, personal value-based prioritization, great stuff. Ronke again says, mindset differentiates. Absolutely. We need to leverage our mindset. It's all about the mindset. And that is what our show is all about. We're here to help people make a shift in their mindset so that they can have personal growth, so that they can experience personal growth. Everybody can experience personal growth, but we need to be intentional about it. We all have the same time available to us. If you have data, you are expending your data and you're not learning anything. What you have done is you have paid school fees and you have not gone to school. That is what you have done. Trust me, that is what we have done. Olufunke Adio, I cannot thank you enough for the time you have invested here with us. For our audience always showing up every Sunday, I can't thank you enough. Apologies for the slight glitches we had at the beginning.
Sorry.
I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, Sincerely Agile with Mary, please do so. Tell your friends and family about our show. This is it. This is a show where we really want to improve ourselves as individuals and as professionals.
Yes.
Until next Sunday, Funke, thank you once again.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye bye.